Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're taking a look at yet another antique fan. This is a 1960s Berns Air King 20-inch 2-speed box fan, specifically rebadged as Comet Aire, as you can see there. Cat number IM20M. It's made in Vico, Chicago, Illinois. Not entirely sure how you pronounce that. 2.7 amps, 115 volts, 60 cycles. 2-speed, as I said before. And this is actually an incredibly nice box fan. It's a really solid runner, really quiet runner, and it just moves a ton of air, so it was definitely a good purchase. I found this last year when doom scrolling through Facebook Marketplace at probably like 3 in the morning, as one does. And I was up at college, and this thing was over in, I want to say it was northeast Massachusetts. And it was quite far from me, but it happened to be in a town over from my buddy Jack. So I messaged him, and he happened to be bored during spring break and was kind enough to grab this for me. So Jack, if you happen to be watching this, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, it was listed for like 10 or 15 bucks, and it was like one crappy picture from the front. And I'd been looking at it for a while, and then finally decided one night that I need this. So, like I said, Jack was kind enough to grab it for me, and I ended up with it. What I didn't realize before purchasing it is how nice of a box fan this thing really is, because it's in really clean original shape, and like I said earlier, it's just a really nice performer, real quiet, moves a lot of air, and this thing actually saw quite a bit of use last year before I even serviced it, which is rare for me, but it just ran so good. Obviously it was on a stand at one point, so kind of bummer to not get that, but you know, these things happen. Apparently, according to Jack, it was an older gentleman who got it. He actually had bought it new, I believe, and it had just been sitting around his house for a while and wasn't getting used, so he was starting to downsize. But yeah, overall, really nice shape, pretty clean. Honestly, most of the dust on it is from me last year. I used this when doing some drywalling work in a room up at school there, so it's got a lot of that kind of dust on it. But I mean, there's even decals like this, which I think is kind of funny. The motor on this fan needs no oiling. But we're going to, of course, do that anyways. Original head wire there is in good shape. I've actually got the original cord all the way out till probably about where the plug was. And then there's this, which is mildly sketchy, but it works, sort of. And then there's a whole other cord wired in there. So obviously we're in for a cord replacement. I would normally just replace the plug on this, but I have a nice like 50s or 60s era cord with a nice rubber molded plug that might fit this fan pretty well. So thinking of just wiring that in, and I'll keep this cord as a nice replacement cord for something. But yeah, it's even got I guess 3 of the 4 original feet, which is kind of neat. Unfortunately, not on the best shape, and that one's broken and missing, so I will probably replace those just so it sits level if nothing else. But yeah, before anything else, we'll see if this cord wants to cooperate. Like I said, it can be a little bit temperamental with that kind of a connection, which admittedly that has gotten far worse since when I first got it. At least the tape was somewhat together. But let's see. Alright, we've got about nothing right now. Sometimes you can get away with just jiggling this connection around and it will make some sparky noises and then take off, but maybe not. So, you guys might just have to take my word for this one. It actually ran pretty decent beforehand, but I guess it doesn't want to cooperate now. So, I guess with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys up on the tripod. We're going to get a time lapse going. I know you guys really enjoy the working through it videos, but A, they take quite a while to edit, and I just haven't had the time recently, and I'm behind on fan videos, so I want to get something out to you guys, and B, I think it's probably about 1 or 2 in the morning at this point. I'm a little bit tired, so I'd rather give you guys a good quality time-lapse video than a half-assed Colin's falling asleep, barely narrating, working through it video. So there is no shortage of projects here, as you can see, though, so we're going to go ahead and get to a bunch of these in the near future, and I'll make sure to do a couple working through it videos for those. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys up on the tripod. We're going to get to this, and I will keep you guys posted as we go along. Don't do that. This is there is nothing holding these together except the fact that they're all twisted together, and there was nothing insulating them except for electrical tape, which is turned soft and gooey. And all it takes is one good tug like that, and you've either got a broken connection or a short, which is, in a fan like this, pretty dangerous. Both for the fan itself, but also there's no fuse there, so yeah, don't do that. Either get a replacement plug or at least solder your connections, please. But anyways, just figured I'd make a quick PSA. Back to the time lapse. And just like that, it's all done. This thing cleaned up really, really nice. I am so happy with how this thing came out. The paint seems to be overall, I mean, it's got dings and scratches and nicks, don't get me wrong, but what's there is very clean. And honestly, for the most part, especially for a box fan that's 66 years old or so, the amount, the paint damage is minimal, as you can see. And it cleaned up really, really nice. The blades, I actually, as you saw, went and polished lightly. I wasn't going for a mirror-like finish, but they cleaned up real nice too. You can see how nice and clean everything is. Straightened out all the grill retainer things, so these fit nice and tight now. They're not rattling, bouncing around. Got the motor all serviced and oiled with a ton of oil. These wicks just kept soaking it up. Got new fresh fiber washers in there. So that's running real nice and smooth. That statement will definitely be true for quite some time. And I also went ahead and rewired it. I had this real nice old, probably 60s vintage cord. It's a little curly right now because it's been in storage for a while. As you can see, that, honestly, if you didn't know any better, I would say that would be original. And yeah, been running it for the last couple hours yesterday and today. Oh, I also kept all the original feet and put one replacement in there, so that sits nice and flat now. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but hey, it works, and it's honestly hardly noticeable for 99% of people. The thing that bugs me the most, honestly, is the fact that the original cord compression fitting thing didn't survive and did not work for this cord anyways, so right now we got to grommet with zip tie stream relief, but at some point I'll have to get another one of those cord things. It's kind of a bummer too, because this thing was obviously on a stand at some point, and that would have been cool to have, but either way, yeah, I got it all cleaned up. It's wired back the way pretty much it was originally, and this thing just runs so nice. I am, like I said, I'm incredibly pleased with this. So yeah, overall cleaned up really, really nice. So here we go for a nice demo run. Here's high speed. Gets up to speed pretty darn fast. It's got a slight whoom sound, and it's there. It's got that classic 60s metal box fan sound. Just, I think, a really, really pleasant sound. It is a very quiet fan, and it moves a lot of air. I mean, for context, I'm not raising my voice at all. This is about a normal inside conversation voice. But yeah, it runs real nice and smooth. It's rated for 2.7 amps at 115 volts. We're currently at 125.4, which is over 10 volts higher, and we're at 3.12 amps, which is a touch higher than it's supposed to be, but also we're running 10 volts higher. What I did yesterday was I went ahead and fired up my Variac, set it to 115 like it's supposed to be, and it was actually only drawing 2.6 amps, so I think the motor is just fine. But yeah, real nice smooth runner. It doesn't even really vibrate much. I mean, it's got a slight shimmy to it, but most of these, I feel like a lot of 60s metal box fans end up vibrating worse than that. But the rubber feet, it's not even noticeable. I'm sure at some point if I wanted, I could probably go through and really fully balance this blade and get it even better, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go through that much work, to be completely honest. Here's low. Which, that was one thing I noticed, a big difference with the Variac, is low speed was a hell of a lot lower. But it felt more like a low. This feels more like it could be a medium. But either way, even at 125 volts, still a pretty nice low speed. Back this away from the washer there a little bit. When you stand a couple feet away, this thing's just real nice and quiet. Once again, it's got that classic metal box fan, just low. I don't know, it's not even like a roar, it's like a low-pitched, whir. I don't know what you'd use to describe that. Nice low tone. That's what I'm getting at, which I find very pleasant to listen to. According to my phone decibel meter app, this thing on low speed is about as loud as 80s vintage table fan on medium. So for a 20-inch box fan, I'd say that's pretty impressive. On the Variac, I think it's even quieter than that, though. It's kind of a shame my line voltage here is always so high. Makes running some of these vintage fans kind of annoying because they don't run quite the way they should, but either way, that would be really nice to use in the evening, especially to try and fall asleep to. I think that low-pitched sound like that would put me right to bed. Just the back. Just love how simple and open the thing is. Real just simple brace for the motor, and the motor just sits right there out in the open. It's kind of a bright white, so it stands out. Shinier metal blades, metal grill, metal cabinets. It's got a nice look to it. Kind of like the color too. It looks kind of gray on the video. It's not just pure gray. I don't really know how to describe it. It's a little more bright and reflective and slightly lighter in color than that. But I think it complements well with the this, I guess, gray / silver guard. I guess that was painted kind of more silvery at one point. I don't think that's just overspray. I think that's remains of paint, honestly, and the reflective blades. But yeah, so I guess with that, go ahead and fire it back up to high. Which again, it's just a nice sound and good performer too. I bet this thing's got a decent amount of static pressure behind it too, with how pitched those blades are. It does a good job of throwing air out pretty much dead straight too. It doesn't really fan it out to the sides much. It's pretty much a solid beam of air coming straight from the thing. I also love how you can see the rivets that I polished going around in the hub and then the motor through the blade when it's running. Like I said before, I think it's just a really good looking box fan. But anyways, enough yapping. Here's the spin down. It's a decent sized blade set, I guess, in terms of weight. You know, it's not overly heavy, but it's not light either, especially being all metal. So I think it's more than an acceptable spin down, especially given the fact that those bearings are still in really good shape. Usually fans that have really long spin downs end up being the ones that are actually the most worn out, believe it or not. But yeah, there it is. So I think that's going to about do it for this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, appreciate it if you can hit the little like and subscribe buttons. They're free. And yeah, it helps grow the channel and helps me out a bit, which I really appreciate. By all means, leave a comment if you have one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.